Hello. Welcome everybody to the Global Speedrun Association here. We're finishing out the Celeste 90% League Qualifier. I'm joined here, as you can see in the bottom screen, we got 3 commentators. I am Sushi.
Yo, I'm Flair. I like how me and Sushi are in the same commentator, like,
We're one
block,
being.
by the way, displayed together. That's fitting.
And of course, I'm Electric as well. So happy to be here in what's going to be a great match. UltraMarlin has been such a strong player throughout this entire qualifier tournament, and I'm excited to see what Aurora Dash can put up against him.
Right, so of course this is the grand final of our league qualifier here, and we're going to see UltraMarlin here, who went up to the bracket through the group stage, and his quarterfinals has defeated Star Cruncher, Archie Gaming Programmatic, and now he's facing Aurora Dash. Aurora, on the other hand, has beaten Comet and Archie Boy. So both some very good names down there in the sus community. Of course, both these players are already guaranteed entry into the 90% league. So now we're seeing what could be realistically a league matchup for season 2, which is very exciting.
Yep, and so they're off with that pretty just standard prologue. Nothing too exciting happening here. What are y'all looking forward to in this race, knowing these two runners?
Of course, Aurora Dash is always a treat to watch because he's definitely more of an oriented B-side runner. I know generally this game, not too many people pay attention to the individual level speedruns, excluding Chapter 1 A-side mainly. But Aurora Dash has really perfected some of the B-side individual levels. Specifically, one thing even though it's irrelevant to any percent, I will like to shout out his 8B individual level speedrun because that is absolutely bonkers. But I believe he also goes for 6B in any percent rounds, which is incredibly impressive.
I'm looking for both of them to PB because both of their PBs have incredible room for improvement based off of what times they can get.
Yeah, they're both very skillful players, and they're basically showing us, it's not the most uncommon thing to be neck and neck in City, but it's truly mesmerizing.
Yeah, as we've got this pretty well sync. UltraMarlin with a little bit of a lead going into these later rooms in Forsaken City. Coming up towards the spike bounce, and then of course that high-rise room. Both of them getting it really nice and clean. Haven't been seeing too many people miss that spike bounce recently.
No, yeah, it's definitely just as the times went on, it's been something that at first runners thought it was very hard, but people just keep doing it and doing it.
And while we're waiting for Old Site to load up, shout out to Troy of Athens for the resub. 6 months of subbage, or actually 8 months total, 6 month streak. Thanks so much, Troy. We're getting into the best looking section of the game, in my opinion. Like the Aurora Borealis effect in the background is just so beautiful.
This whole game's beautiful. The whole art direction.
Honestly.
And what's even lovely is seeing this complete mastery of the game.
Yeah, especially the dream block movement ends up just getting so fluid. It's something you get glimmers of in casual play, but when you actually have these really precise routes through all these dream block rooms, it feels so smooth.
Yeah, it's so crazy, especially when you consider that while the player is dashing through these, especially the very long dream blocks, they have no control of the character, but yeah, it's still just so incredible.
That's because dream block double jumps are cool. I'm glad they started getting utilized in so many places. I remember when that was like a B-side only strat. Now there's a ton of dream block double jumps.
Yeah, I mean, so far this race, of course, the early game usually doesn't dictate too much. But Marlin's generally a bit more cleaner on the movement. Nothing really too major out of Aurora, just, with some hiccups. But these first 2 chapters are generally nothing notable happens. I mean, I almost commentated cursed Aurora there. He was still in that very scary room. But, yeah.
Yeah, nothing like Archie Boy in the last round having just a bunch of issues. I don't even understand how he just kept getting bad angles on that dash. It was so sad.
Gosh, I'm watching Marlin and realizing I need to update my awake strat.
Yeah, these guys are just blazing through Awake right now.
It's always one of the more interesting sections in the game because it's quite literally point A, point B, and you cannot die in between. There's no room for death. Only just pure raw movement perfection.
And UltraMarlin with just a tad more perfection, coming in about 2 seconds ahead, but a little bop like that could go ahead and undo that lead a bit.
Was that the first mistake this run for Marlin?
I mean, depends what you want to define as a mistake, but
Yeah.
knowing him, he likes like 316 old site splits. But
316? What? Wasn't that like a
That's
319.1 that he just got?
yes,
I mean, yeah.
he's quite good at the early game. For those who don't know, UltraMarlin does have the best Chapter 3 split by about like 7 seconds in comparison to all the other runners. And that's like not in the league, that's like total ever. He's a monster at these first couple of chapters, so we're definitely... Aurora even keeping within striking distance here would be really good for him.
And yet he doesn't have the best Chapter 4 split.
Nope.
Because he chokes it every time.
It's quite amusing. It adds character, you know?
Yeah. The win mechanic just makes everything so rough in Chapter 4. And I feel like even though like it shouldn't be harder than like Summit or Reflection, like I feel like I see a lot more runs end up being choked in Chapter 4 than there really should be. But both of them in the huge mess now, working their way into the chest section.
Aurora with a slight... having some problem adjusting to the Psycho, but he does recuperate. He doesn't die there, which is good. But unfortunately, Marlin is playing so well that it almost... You have to highlight that as a big mistake, because under any other circumstance, I'd say that's a really good recovery, but he's losing so much time over Marlin here.
Oh yeah, Marlin already working his way handily into books, as Aurora's just now approaching that entrance. I mean, Marlin's just not stopping. Hopefully Towels isn't going to change that, but like from the looks of it, he's just a man on a mission. Of course, like you said, with that really consistent, fast early game.
He could have done the demo dash as a backup there. That would have been large-brained.
He gets that corner boost strat. Very nicely done on UltraMarlin. Aurora Dash did chug through the book section. He's doing well for himself. But Marlin is not only on a decent early game here, is also just chugging through. Not a single death so far. I mean, I don't think for either of these runners. Never mind.
Yeah, this room claims so many lives. It's kind of ridiculous.
It's a cheeky one for sure.
That first cycle is just so tight. Very, very nice room right after, though. Marlin already passed the elevator shaft. Working his way up towards demo.
Yeah, we'll see the demo dash coming out here from UltraMarlin. No
He's
checkpoint.
going right for it. No
Wow.
checkpoint. First try.
And he gets that corner boost in the next room. Marlin is playing... Oh, misses the task cycle skip there, the corner boost cycle, but still, he's playing incredibly well.
Yeah, not taking a death in that room, which after something like a checkpointless demo, that I mean, the relief from that succeeding makes so many players end up making mistakes on that task cycle skip.
Aurora struggling a bit on this long. I'm gonna get to it, but I want to point out, if my mental math and I got the right time on Marlin's works out correctly, if he gets a really good Oshiro, this can be a sub 730 resort split, which would be absolutely incredible.
Wow.
Which is crazy, because he's definitely had a few seconds, at least like 2 or 3 of noticeable movement mistakes so far in this resort.
It is going to be a really low 730, but just to put that in perspective, I think this is probably still ahead of world record out of this early game. Like, he's an absolute monster at these chapters.
A 731, that's about as low as you can get.
It's nothing short of a feat. Anyways, while Marlin is blowing our minds off, Aurora Dash is showing us how mortals play the game.
And kind of an interesting point, Aurora Dash leaving the stroboscopic effects enabled, while UltraMarlin having them turned off just to have the screen a bit cleaner during chases like the Oshiro chase.
Yeah, it's always something really cool to... I mean, I mean, we were just talking about the visuals at this game earlier. It's always the funniest thing seeing the screen shake feature on.
Yeah.
I mean, as someone who spent 1,000 hours in this game with it off, it's almost like, wait, that's in the game? But it's a really cool casual touch, but gosh, we'd have so much in this run. It's incredible. Marlin so far chugging to Chapter 4. Really nice entry into the shrine. Dash will be joining him soon. Just overall, pretty clean play from Marlin, definitely. Aurora has had a couple hiccups in some rooms, but still, like, not playing terribly. I mean, again, I'd like to emphasize that these are two runners that are going to be in the Season 2 League. Wow, I just saw that on Aurora's screen. That sucks a lot. But this is going to be a legitimate league.
Why are you doing this, Marlin?
What? And it worked? Oh my god!
What?
Why?
That bottom route is so dumb.
I feel like it's definitely more of a swag strat as far as my knowledge goes. I've never tried it before, but he didn't make it look easy. I can say that.
And I don't even know if it saved time with him having to like re-back up the jumps like that.
And mind you, he is legitimately on PB pace. This isn't him throwing away, playing for the crowds. I mean, sure, he's got 20 more minutes of the run to go, but this is a good run. And he's going for the auto scroller speed up ultra here. Very nicely done.
Nice. Oh man.
Aurora's gonna go for one of his own. Nice ultra dashes. And just before when we talked about, I don't want to commentators curse because
Marlin.
It's a good
nice
save off of failing a very hard strat that no one else goes for because that's Marlin. But yeah, I mean, we talked before about how he has the best Chapter 3 split time, but not the best Chapter 4 split time. This actually could be on pace to get it.
That would be ludicrous.
To be fair, Marlin is pretty much always on PB/world record pace until he gets to the late game, because that's where his runs have all the time save in the world.
I could definitely see that the way he's playing right now.
It's gonna be a sub 10-10 bridge split. I think? No, it's gonna be a 10-10. That's absolutely absurd.
Wow. That's ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and best split out of that is either like 10:07 or 10:09. I can't remember. And keep in mind, he's had a 7:25 before, which is 6 seconds ahead of this run.
Wow.
We're just really beefing Marlin up here, but
Aurora.
he's just playing really well. And
Dash having some troubles in that orb room.
It's hard to take this to be Aurora here, not because he's playing incredibly well and he's very much deserves the spot throughout the qualifier. But wow, Marlin's playing well. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, it's hard to take our eyes off Marlin's screen, honestly. Oh, Aurora getting bought by a snowball.
Also, I hate to create the hype, but just to emphasize how good this run is for Marlin, he is currently 10 seconds ahead of the current world record.
And gonna get his momentum a little bit stopped on the yeet jump, but
Ooh, that was a nice
still a nice
That
showing.
was a very nice corner jump back up. And a very nice corner boost there.
He's gonna have a pretty wild 5A.
But of course, we can't say a run is truly out of the way until we get to that 2-frame trick. If you've never seen the
dropping
Celeste
of
speedrun
bugs.
before, yep. We end up doing the B-side here in Chapter 5. It often saves around 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds, depending on how good your A-side is and how good your B-side is. But it involves a 2-frame trick, in which a runner has to immediately hit the jump button right when they transition into a room. And it costs about 10 seconds every time you mess it up.
Yeah, and we've even seen people just after the first mistake try to just do the other movement through, but either way, it's costly. Marlin is going to be approaching the drop now. Oh no!
Yeah, that's just unfortunate.
It's just a one-way platform. You cannot get out from under it once you're on top of it.
Marlin has probably experienced this exact failing like dozens of times at this point.
It's really heart-wrenching, yeah.
My friends, it just keeps happening.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's probably the noise. We got Marlin's mic there. Wow. Live feed from UltraMarlin's mic after failing Bub's drop. Gets it on the third try there, though. You know, good guy Marlin. Giving Aurora a bit of time. That's a bit rude to say, but oh well.
It could have been worse for sure. I mean, only losing like about 20 seconds or so. But it does kind of kill the PB, unfortunately.
I mean, yeah, the thing about Celeste 90% is that we talk about runs like, not even from a race perspective and from just a normal any percent PB attempt session. We can talk about how good you are at the early game, but you have the Bubs drop in Chapter 5, not to mention Chapter 5B is quite a difficult chapter, as well as Reflection having some very hard tricks, and just the Summit being the longest and the hardest chapter. This game is quite a gauntlet to get through. It's quite similar to, you know, Super Mario 64. You have Tippy right at the end of your runs for 70 star and 120 star, you know? It's quite a gauntlet.
Oh yeah, like it's the run's never over until you get to the summit. Just like it's not over in that game until you get to the Grand Star.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how. Oh
Oh
my god!
That was a very nice reaction save.
What a save!
How like having runs 10 seconds or more ahead of world record out of Ridge is kind of like lost meaning. Not really lost meaning, but like to these runners, it's not like you're never like, oh man, I'm on world record pace because you have a good pace out of Ridge. Like you haven't seen anything yet until
Yeah.
the next 3 chapters.
Just to totally talk through experience and not flex my Celeste muscle, I've been -5 on the world record out of Ridge. But
Yeah, the thing about it is that it stays with consistently good times throughout the entire game, like without any noticeable chokes. But since that time was done, either new strats or improvements to chapters have made like slightly lower times for like each individual chapter possible. Like I think especially Summit. It's hard to play Summit consistently, but the Summit time has gone down a lot. Babai lowered the best Summit time by 5 seconds just today. Like I went from 8:05 to 8:00, like just today,
Wow.
which is crazy.
yeah, I mean, one thing I do want to know really quick before we get back to this discussion is that I did see Marlin kind of shake the menu there on the in between level out of frustration, which was very amusing. Also
Yeah, that
very
was
nice
that was
thanks,
some capital A's there. I
too.
think.
But yeah, it's great. Celeste is one of those games where it's just so much execution, because especially in comparison to a lot of other typical speedrun games, as long as Madeline has her dash, you have so much control over her, and just optimizing what you can do with that dash and just not only but preserving speed is incredible. And I'm sure, you know, if you asked us six months ago, you feel like we'd have the game figured out, but here we are. We're just breaking barriers again and again.
And this is why core is lame. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, like some of it's especially cool because of that double dash mechanic. Like there's so many movement options available to you at all times.
Cause yeah, I mean, just thinking about raw times, I mean, I'm sure this game is in for another like major breakthrough in the top level times. But since what, mid 28, around where the world record was in mid 28, we haven't seen any like big new things discovered. It's just been small optimizations and just execution improvements piling up. And it's honestly beyond impressive.
I
This
halfway
game is-
wonder if Chapter 9 might introduce something that ends up causing a big discovery.
We actually memed on that a lot because there was one update where they were like pre-patching and stuff for Chapter 9, and they actually changed the rate at which you could pick up Theo again after throwing him, and that ended up bugging up the speedrun because we do a lot of strats on the Theo section where we throw him and then pick him up really quickly for a quick height boost, and so everyone got really mad. And that actually led to recently, of course, if you haven't played Celeste, what are you doing here? Like, go play the game. Matt, Noel, this game is a treat. Of course, we showed off visually how it's a treat, but just like musically, story-wise, this game, I might be a bit biased. I can't say, but it's a lovely game, and the devs have worked with the speedrun community. It's very nice.
Oh, Aurora Dash with the spike fall.
Yeah, did we mention that Aurora does 6B? I mean, I'm sure if you've seen the qualifiers before, you're used to it. This level is very hard. Aurora is very good at the B side, generally not even just 6. Optimally, and by optimally, I mean if you play this level perfectly, you save like maybe 2 seconds over the A side.
But he's already definitely lost that.
Yeah. I mean, Aurora is just much more better at. He's put more time to 6B than 6A, so it's more efficient for him. But for most runners, it is technically faster. The task does 6B. But don't go into your favorite any % streamer's chat and say, "Hey, I heard 6B is faster," because you might get timed out. I can't say anything for sure, but it's an incredibly hard chapter.
Yeah, and especially when you get to these like pre-battling rooms where it's just all spike falls, like this type of room. This is half of 6B, honestly.
I don't actually think that Aurora has run Beanie %, which is really weird because if he did, he'd probably smash world record for that. He's had... I remember at a point he had a goal to have every single B-side world record at the same time, and at certain points came close. I'm pretty sure he's held every single one at least once before, but I might be wrong.
I think that's definitely true. I mean, fact check you on that one.
Yeah, I don't know about I don't know if he has a 7B time. I'm not sure. I'll have to look.
Has seemed to pick up some momentum though, not taking any more deaths in these recent rooms.
Mm-hmm.
The UltraMarlin not really leaving any room to catch up at all.
Despite the aggressive play in it, I think it's safe to say for most 6B runners, the descent is like the easiest part of the chapter. It just flows really well.
Yeah, it's funny because there's not a lot of variability. Throughout the rest of this level, you see a lot of moving platforms, bumpers, which are really annoying, Kevin blocks, which, I mean, granted, they're fairly consistent, but you can get some wonky momentum off that sometimes. The fall is just spikes, Madeline, refresh gems. It's very straightforward, despite it being to what most casual runners would see as very daunting. Especially when you see those runners hold down and fast fall all the time. It's quite scary, but...
Oh, I say that Aurora actually holds 7B world record right now. I didn't even know that he had a good 7B time.
Yeah, I mean, these runners are some... Aurora and UltraMarlin are some of the best at what they do. It's crazy. I mean, it's really awesome just in terms of how Celeste works, and that the movement is very static. It's, well, not static as in it's lame, but static as in it's very different between the categories. You have very small options in between. The movement in 6A is not at all like the movement in 6B, as we're seeing Aurora not quite accustomed to the 6B movement, but
yeah, this is the same room he had so many problems with last run too.
Just to put into perspective right now, for like the 3 quote-unquote like main categories regarding like 100%, for all chapters, all red berries, and any %, there's a different world record holder for each category, which is like very cool to see in a game.
Wait, Aurora actually is the closest he's ever been right now. I guess I haven't been paying attention. He has 7 B-side world records right now.
Wow. Which one does he not have?
1B, which the only thing
1B.
stopping him is 1B, which is by ZCAD, and ZCAD is the guy
really good
to destroy everything he puts his hands on. So,
jeez.
All right, well,
so I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled on Marlet's Summit for the rest of the run because he is on a decent pace.
yes, I don't want to quantify anything, but it is PBable. And by that I mean it's free, as speedrunners like to say. Or as Twitch chat likes to say, I should say.
I mean, he is certainly on the pace right now, but just like we were kind of saying
that
earlier.
strat.
Aurora was going for a bumper skip at the end of this long screen here. Unfortunately, it does not only not pay off, but he actually has to pay interest on that. Oh,
Oh man.
oh, you hate to see it.
The slightly off angle you want off that bumper is just so, gosh, it's terrible.
Yeah, Marlon so far clean summit, but probably not up to his PB standards he wants. If he wants to PB this, but he's got 6 minutes to go. Probably 8, 7. That's how math works. Meanwhile, Aurora is gonna race him to the top.
If this run only went on for 6 more minutes, that would be pretty hype.
I don't want to make promises here, but
Oh yeah, is it just me, or does Aurora always watch that cutscene? I feel like he does.
I feel like you're right, because he did in the last run as well.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I guess after a 6B like that, he needs a little mountain pump up.
I mean, I love that cutscene, don't get me wrong. But typically, speedrunners do not like cutscenes.
It just so happens that that one doesn't actually increment your in-game time for whatever reason. UltraMarlin with the death in this first 1500 room, though.
Yeah, Aurora has been stuck on a lot of rooms lately, but thankfully, only 1 death this time in that room. As Marlon's gonna head into some very impressive 1500-meter screens. A lot of ultra dashes here, see if you can count them. You're gonna need 2 hands, I'll tell you that.
Beautiful movement from Marlin.
Ooh.
Oh, the Dust Bunny just right in his way.
Yeah, I mean, just to have the discussion again, we talk about how this run can PB for Marlin.
Oh, that snowball!
Wow, that was a very good snowball strat. He just dash back there. Wow, he is playing with our hearts right now.
You go ahead and bound under the terrain.
Okay.
This is like very, I don't say sloppy is the word. It's very scary movement from Marlin. He's doing his thing, but gosh, it's putting me on edge.
Based off what he needs to PB, he is cutting it close at this point, because we have seen a few seconds of movement mistakes. I believe Marlin's Summit PB is something like an 807, which is, he's got a couple seconds below that, but I'm actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure he said that run had a death in it. Yeah, it did. He has like an 807 with a death.
I can attest that he has an 808 submitted to speedrun.com today.
That's probably it.
Yeah. But
Alright, it's still alive. Let's go, Marlin.
let's go, Marlin.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting on up there. Just has to revisit the Mirror Temple and then going to be moving right along to the flag section. Oh, the spikes.
Yo, let's go, Marlin.
And he hit the second one too. That was like, you have way less time to do that one.
I mean, this is like the stage at this point where, as viewers, we're so hyped for him, but I did want to bring this up. Let's have this discussion where he missed Bub's drop twice this run. Can he be happy with a run like this? And especially when you consider that happened. But I want to talk about, this is the league qualifier, so of course he's getting into the any percent league. This is a no reset run. Will this man terrorize the any percent league? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I definitely feel like if he takes up like the TGH no reset strat, he's going to be making some huge plays throughout this tournament.
I will make a prediction that Season 2 will actually be much more close and heated than Season 1 was. Just based off of the activity Like, if you were excited at this run and watching someone be ahead of world record pace, like that's pretty exciting. I recommend you follow all of runners in like 2nd through 6th place, like all on Twitch, because they all like have the skills necessary to beat the current world record, and a couple of them, like especially Shy Kitty, like anytime he streams Celeste any percent, you can expect to see a world record pace run, like at least into like Reflection. He's crazy consistent.
Yeah, he improved so quickly throughout season 1 and across the off season as well. It's just it's going to be insane to see what exactly he's going to pull out in this new season.
Yeah, it's somewhat surprising that Shy Kitty actually hasn't beat world record yet. I've been in his stream for like 3 summit chokes at this point.
That's not. You can't call it a summit choke in this game. There's nothing. You can't really choke on failing the hardest chapter in the game just so it comes last. You know?
Oh, the spike death. It was fast, but that little save
my
there.
God.
Okay. No. What even?
Marlin just going sicko mode. Oh, we're entering 2.5k. I've been watching his summit. It looks okay. He's playing his heart out. I like it. I mean, again, he's going to be in the league too, so I'd love to see his improvement because he's definitely a very capable player, and I'm sure we've barely seen his potential at 90%.
Oh yeah, like especially like I really think it'd be a smart decision for him to put some time into 6A because it seems that 6B has just constantly been giving him problems. I don't think I've seen him do it like truly cleanly once.
But that would ruin the character arc.
Fair,
Come on.
fair.
What are we gonna talk about throughout 6A if they're just smashing battle line? Like, come on.
In my eyes, I view the 6B runners as like a collective group of people that all have like one same goal of being determined to beat the Chapter 6 community gold time. There have been instances where I think it was Problem Stroll, like had a 6B that could have beat it with a better tape split or vice versa. Like it's definitely come really close to beating the community gold, but they're really close to each other in terms of optimal times.
Yeah, and just for the record, I can say from runners' experience, like 6A, while it might be more consistent of a chapter overall, like on average, it's the top level 6A times. There's a lot of really small, nitpicky, like inconsistent-ish things that go into chapter 6A.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of small movement that you really have to get to the top level time.
Yeah, running 6B is like one of the biggest forms of like speedrunning optimism I've ever seen.
Oh, so yeah, congrats to UltraMarlin for finally, I act like he's taking a while. 28-24 is very speedy. Congratulations to UltraMarlin for winning the match here.
Yeah, that's an insane time.
And I mean, yeah, we can have this discussion where if we value a bub shop fail at 10 seconds each, that run is very, very good.
I mean, wouldn't
Pretty
times
low.
like 28-24 like win him pace, pretty much?
I mean, yeah. if
In
we're gonna have
most
that discussion.
instances.
It'll certainly win races through most of this upcoming tourney. That's for sure. That's a time to pull off right there.
Yeah, I mean, nothing but high
Marlin
hopes
beat
going
his
to the
28
qualifier.
seconds.
You're going to the league, sorry.
Let's watch Aurora Dash finish it on up. Pretty close to the summit himself. Marlin not happy with that.
I'm gonna ignore the right side of my screen right now. Oh god.
Bruh sound effect number 4.
Brady, do you have the button?
No, I don't.
Brady does
wish
not
I
have the
did.
button. Regardless, it's still a very... When you consider that a runner has to do a no reset, of course, if you talk to any speedrunner ever, they will tell you their run is bad, and that they can beat it very easily. But to actually beat it in a no reset run, in a race nonetheless, in the grand finals of the qualifier tournament, I mean, that's not something a lot of people can do. So I don't blame UltraMarlin for coming short there, but he's an incredible player nonetheless. Meanwhile, Aurora on the heights of the Celeste Mountain here, flag number 1.
Having a little bit of a bobble on that one corner, but seems to be advancing towards the flag and gets a 30-41.
So a very good time coming out from Aurora. That's going to be a GG. Very nicely done from both of our racers here, as they will be into the any percent league.
All right, now it looks like we unfortunately won't be having Marlin in for an interview. Let's see if Aurora Dash wants to come in for another interview after his first race. But GG's to both of these guys. That was a really impressive showing, and UltraMarlin just had an insane run. And so we now got Aurora in the call. How are you feeling?
All right.
There we go. You can clap for that. That's it.
That was a bit disappointing.
So we
like
now got Aurora
that 6B
in the
was like
call.
even
How are you
worse than the
feeling?
last race, and I messed up that same room. So other than that, I was quite happy with it. Oh, and Ridge was bad.
Now, I suppose we could talk about this match here at hand, but you have a lot more matches going forward as you are. This was the grand final, so even if you did lose, you still are admitted into the any percent league for season 2. How are you feeling about that?
Really good. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Now, I know we talked about it during the commentary throughout the entire qualifier tournament, but you're definitely a runner who's very known for your individual level speedruns throughout mainly the B-sides. But going into the season 2 any percent league now, I don't know, how are you feeling with improving your any percent time, your full game consistency, not only that, but your A-side times? Do you have any plans for those?
At the moment, I have improved my resort recently, but that could still definitely go down a bit further. For a long time, it's been kind of my weakest chapter, and after that, it might kind of be worth learning 6A as well.
Yeah, I believe Electric mentioned that too while he was on the mic there. I mean, sure, I mean, after that run, you can definitely say learning 6A would be beneficial, but it's very interesting to see you run 6B.
Yeah, I like it.
It's always a toss up between like whether you want to go more for consistency or speed. I have noticed the raw speedrunners do tend to kind of experience more inconsistency in their runs and kind of fall short a few times because of it. But I mean, if it's more fun, then more power to you, honestly. Like, it's certainly something that with the skill that you've already demonstrated through all your performances, like you could definitely pull it off if you put the time in to get it like truly 100% consistent. That's something that's going to be awesome to see, I feel like.
It's going to be tough, but I guess I can try.
All right, now I do want to say, since you are in the league now, do you have any goals or aspirations? Do you want to win the whole thing? Are we looking for top 4, top 8? Do you have any set goals right now for yourself, or are we going to see how it goes?
I'm going to keep my expectations modest. For this season, my goal will be top 8.
Well, I'm very looking forward to seeing you compete. And do you have any other? I mean, of course, there are a lot of very respectable and noble runners. Oh, I made a joke. Heck, there's some very good runners in the league. Are you looking for any like potential competitors? Anyone you definitely want to be? Anyone you definitely just want to play?
I don't really know if who I can want to beat, but I think I was asked that question before, and I mentioned you.
Well, I wish you best of luck.
Thank you.
So I think I don't want to wrap anything up like around season 2 lineup. I'm sure GSA will make an official social media statement for all the leagues, so you can keep your eyes out for that. For now, I do think we are going to be signing off unless you have anything left to say.
I think that's about it for us tonight. We do have the rundown starting in about an hour and 20 minutes or so, so don't missed that, that is our weekly podcast on all things speedrun related. GG's to both of our runners, and yeah, Aurora Dash. That was an awesome performance.
Thank you.
Flarebird, did you have any questions?
No, but as a returning league member, I am very terrified at watching the qualifying members.
Yeah, congrats again, and good night to everyone on the all the speedrun watchers, GSA watchers. Jesus. Again, in the title, exclamation point, Onyx. If you want to support the stream, even though we do take Twitch Prime subs here. If you guys know what those are, I have no idea. I just found about it the other day. That's crazy. But again, if you want to support speedrun, a lot of the proceeds do go to supporting the prize pools of these events. So it's very nice to promote this competition if you care. If not, we're providing great entertainment. Just hit the follow button. Why not? What do you have to lose? I'm not sure, actually.
One of the greatest gifts you can provide is that view, and we'd love to have y'all back for some more of our races coming up in the future. Remember exclamation schedule to see that full calendar. And in case there's a race you missed, exclamation point YT to find both our stream highlights channel and our channel with the entire archive of races. But for now, I'm Electric, joined in the booth by both Flare Bear and M Sushi. It's been awesome, guys.
Yeah, have a great night, everybody.
Peace out.